PayPal.
Yeah.
So there's Elon Musk having breakfast. He gets the $3 million. I know that was a sham. Over breakfast, you know, on the phone. What a great guy, by the way. And when I think of this whole business, I think of you guys. I mean, you're really the experts, I think, in terms of you've seen the bright, shiny part. You've seen the scary part. You had a lot of money. You've expanded into some related areas now. So you've got a lot of merchant transaction stuff around you. You kind of, I shouldn't speak out of school, but you are eBay now to me financially. I mean, I really think of you as being the driving force all around. So tell us what you see with all the rocks and shoals you've been through. Where are we going with digital payments or with?
So PayPal's kind of interesting. I don't know if people recognize we're 10 years old. It built from the beginning for the internet, for payments from the internet. So it's a little different dynamic. 87 million active customers around the world, 190 markets, 24 currencies. So I mean, we are getting older and bigger. You know, eBay is less than half of what we do now. You know, we've grown off on the merchants around the world, from airlines to, you know, Walmarts to everybody. And PayPal's real vision or sweet spot is really about the virtual wallet that you just mentioned. I mean, that's really what goes behind most of our thinking is how to help a customer bring together all their financial capabilities, credit cards, their banking accounts, everything that they can link together and then give them choice, convenience, and security, so that wherever they are shopping, they have their virtual wallet along with them. And so the history of online shopping, right, which is kind of the history of PayPal, is quickly changing through mobile. Through, you know, last November we had something called Innovate, which was PayPal launching the developer platform and opening up the developer platform with the recognition that the worldwide developers are going to take the payments innovation in places we would never go on our own, and so kind of exponentially allowing that to happen. We're actually having Innovate 2010 in October, 24th and 25th, I think, so all come. It was pretty exciting, but opening up that platform and then combining that with what's happening in mobile. When I say mobile, I'm actually not talking about just phones, right? So taking that virtual wallet choice and convenience and security to the customer. You're talking about people being mobile. Yeah. Mobile lifestyle. Yeah. And people talk about offline, online, and what's happening, you can see very quickly is offline's coming online. It's not a matter of going offline, it's coming at you, right? And so people having their virtual wallet with them at all times in whatever shape or form that is, which may be a cell phone, it may not be, and the ability to handle their virtual wallet through, you know, PayPal's ability to go wherever they want to go with whatever financial instrument they want to use, and do it with security, is growing rapidly. And our payment volume coming through what we still call mobile is quadrupling year over year over year, to where this year it's going to be over $500 million, where 2008 it was just a drop. So it's coming at us as opposed to, you know, something that we're consciously saying, okay, we must drive this. It's coming at us. So let's talk security for a minute, because one of the really big fears to me is, and it's been touched on already many times here in the last day and a half day. What a wonderful thing! All my money will be online, you know, and I worry about this every time I do online banking with my bank. We know about ID theft. We know about security breaches. We know about focused hacking. We know about all these things. How do you? I'm asking you because I think you guys are the best at this. But how do you prevent that? Is it always kind of ipso facto fraud alert later, or is it that you really have better mousetraps than the bad guys, and so they're just my codes are just not going to ever be available to the Russian guys or the Chinese guys or whoever else want it? One thing I would differentiate is going mobile, quote unquote, from my view, from PayPal's view, is really not. There's some different dynamics, but the security that's enabled inside of PayPal is there, and whether I deliver it to you on a browser, I deliver it to you on a phone is somewhat irrelevant. Although there are implications. You got to think about, okay, I have a Bling tag on the back of my phone now. That's a new deal between Bling and PayPal, and if I drop my phone, somebody picks it up, it's kind of like I lost my Visa. I very quickly got a call and said, hey, you know, so but on the other side of that, PayPal does have some pretty intense transactional security built in, not all post. We do a lot of analysis on fraud and those kinds of things, but there's a lot of transactional, some intellectual property that I actually wish I would have had when I was with Bank of America.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a lot of security involved in that, and I don't view as mobile increasing the risk. And your money is already online, by the way. So
we're partners already. So
right.
I'm in it the way the chicken is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's keep going and go to Citi. I know you want to talk about cities from the city point of view, and I'd also like to hear the banker's perspective on all this. So this is you're kind of on the leading edge at Citi. I think you're doing venture growth areas, and you're looking around the world and seeing how people actually think and work. You have the scale. So as you can tell, what we're doing here is we're starting with kind of the hot new guys in town, and we're moving back into the folks who actually own the planet. So Bill's last because of that. So anyway, Citi's obviously an interesting place to be right now. And when you look at Singapore and at Paris and at Chicago, and you ask yourself what kind of customer habits are going to drive future currencies, digital currencies, what are you seeing?
Yeah. Well, first off, I think the way forward is that collaboration is going to need to happen in a different way with all of us in order to solve this once and for all. But I think the thing that strikes me is social economies and digital economies and ubiquitous e-commerce economies have emerged is that all around the world, the relationship that people have with money is changing to a relationship with money plus something. It could be money plus their reputation. It could be money plus their ability to make smart decisions. And our observations, and my personal observations, I've been in Singapore and in other parts in China and other parts of the world, is that the real change of behavior, it's really not a payments question. I think the real value created is when there is a nice, easy transaction and payment, but then when you can start to add value to a consumer to allow them to become smarter. So actually what you're doing is you're enabling a series of new business models, but you're also enabling a series of choices that allow a customer to really be smart decision-making, to make smart decisions. And so, we look at this not only from in partnership with startups here and around the world, but we also think about this, and I talked to you yesterday about consumption. How can we, from a Techonomic point of view, think about solving the big issues? And I think some of the things that we see around the future of currency is enabling, for example, the largest cities in the world to deliver value to their citizens. Citi is an interesting mix of capabilities. We issue the passports for the U.S. government. We dispense pension for the UK. We run the procurement services for Hong Kong. So if we looked at those sets of capabilities and said, let's be inspired by the customer, let's be inspired by the client, let's really partner with the best startups and really understand a way to do things differently, could we not create workable solutions for cities who are stressed out about their infrastructure, who want to deploy currency, whether it's taxes or tax payments or information on health or wealth, in a completely different manner? Yeah. So I don't mean to take it up to a platform level, but I think at a platform level, there's a significant opportunity as currency evolves to solve big meta sort of Techonomic problems.
That makes sense politically to me, because I'm from America.
Yep.
There's so much frustration in this country regarding the Beltway and the relative inability to get anything done by the federal government, that you not only see states, but I think cities is kind of the default answer to where the money and power lies. You can say a state, but it's really two cities in that state.
Yeah.
And so increasingly, I'll give Seattle as an example, but Seattle is looking at how do we build out our own fiber network because we're just so darn tired of waiting.
Right.
We are not going to wait any longer, And you have the players saying, Comcast will say, no, don't do that, and but the answer is they're going to go ahead, I think, because they have to have broadband, and they can't. It's been 10, 20 years of waiting, and there's no one.
Yeah, and I think there's a difference in some instances between what we're seeing in terms of mature cities, the Chicagos, the New Yorks of the world, and what's happening in Bangalore and Mumbai, and what's happening in Shanghai. And I think the opportunity, especially with the mobile device and the smart device, is our customers, we view our customers not only as those people that are making smart, easy transactions and smart decisions, but also those that need to deploy value to citizens. And I don't think there's a one-size-fits-all model on how this is all going to shake out. But I will tell you that, I'm inspired by there's 300 plus payment startups in the U.S. and probably 3 times that outside the U.S. So there's a lot of brilliant people thinking about it. We think the way to get after that is...
When you look at it as Citi, do you see a role as an interchange of some kind? When you see 300 startups, when you see all these different ideas and 90 million types of virtual currencies, is there a role for a broker? Is there a role for some kind of an exchange?
Bill, you can take that too. I think the thing that we see, if we look at our capabilities around identity, around trust, around the pipes, quadrillions of dollars of payments move through the Citi pipes every year, and we look at security. I think those are the core sort of foundational capabilities of what will enable this sort of global flow of currency, the new currency. Yeah, yeah. And so, we see that. I mean, there are sets of capabilities. There's certainly partners up along the table here. All have to be in this together to figure it out.
We already give Bill the same chance to talk about it.
Yeah.
And when you look at what you're going to offer someone in Singapore, what's the value to me? What is this new currency going to do for me that on a Citi basis that I wasn't getting before?
Well, I think that I'll switch over to Bangalore for a second, because in Bangalore we did the world's largest pilot on what's the right user experience and business model around payments. Because we all know this is a business model question in large part, and who's going to deliver and how can we deliver the best customer experience. So we do these smart experiments so we can learn. What's the nature or type of comfort with types of transaction? What's the relationship between information and physical currency? These are the types of things we have to learn and then collaborate differently in order to build these.
So it's kind of cultural state of mind and collaboration together.
Yes, yeah.
All right, that's great.
Great, thanks, man.
That goes back to trust in the transaction, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Same thing. Bill,